So now I'll show you how you do this addition of the drug to your cells. The first thing you've got to do is take off the old medium that's already on your plate. So now you make sure you clear up your space. You should have your 96 well plate in front of you and your drugs here. And what you should also have is a discard plate next to you. First thing, make sure that the volume on your pipette is adjusted. You want to take out 100 microliters. Typically that's the amount in each well of this microtiter plate. So press down, making sure all the tips are in, and be careful, make sure that you check that all the tips are in tight. Don't touch this end. Be careful by adjusting it only at this end. Now take the lid off, bring your discard plate close, and take off the medium very carefully and chuck it in the discard plate. Do the same for column A, column B, and column C. You need to be careful with your pipetting here because you don't want to touch the tip right to the bottom. Just put it on the edge of the well. This is a flat bottomed 96 well plate, so if you try and hold it to the edge of the well, that should be fine. The other thing to remember is that you have to be quick about this. Okay? Once you've taken the medium off, replace the lid and keep this multi-channel pipette aside, and now transfer to an ordinary Gilson pipette. Adjust the volume to 100 microliters and now add the various drugs or your control medium into your plates. So for example, if I start with controls where you're adding medium alone, there's no drug here. So simply take your 100 microliters and keep adding it to each well, like so. Okay, so do the same with drug A, making sure that you change the tip, essentially using the ejector, discard the tip and use a fresh tip for each drug. When you've finished, you need to put this plate in the incubator, the CO2 incubator, for about 24 hours. So once you've finished adding the drugs, make sure you put this plate in the CO2 incubator, which is right here. And that's you. Done. I'll show you quickly how to discard the tips that are on your multi-channel. The ejector is right here, so when you've finished, simply click that and you're done. Okay, now I'll show you how you can check to make sure that the MTT reduction has happened. So after 20 minutes or 30 minutes, I would recommend you check in the incubator. Take your plate out and look under the microscope to see if you can see any dark colorations inside the cell. So the microscope is located over here. You simply switch it on with the light and just look under the microscope to make sure that you see some bluish coloration or dark coloration inside the cells. Okay, so now after you've kept your drug for 24 hours, you've taken the media out, added MTT to the solution. This is part of the next phase of the viability reduction. Let me show you how that's done. One thing you need to make sure is you have a very thick piece of blue roll which has been swished with 70% ethanol here. Take your plate out from the incubator chuck the medium out. If there's any spillage, don't worry, just swipe it with this cloth and then gently tap it on this cloth. It's actually a blue roll, but never mind. Now the important thing to remember here is to make sure you take all of the MTT solution out. If you see any pink bits like so, go back and tap again. Or flick if it doesn't come out, and that should do the trick. So you should have all the medium coming off. You should not see any pink solution in this plate. Make sure you wipe the solution, and then using your multi-channel you need to add 100 microliters of isopropanol.